I'm not even gonna hold y'all. The hair, baby, it's hairing, okay? Yes, baby, this hair is giving what it's supposed to give. And I'm gonna flex because I've been working hard, y'all. Like, it's not easy to grow hair long when it's like curly or kinky because the breakage be real, the shrinkage be real. But I've been taking care of my hair, taking my vitamins, and drinking my water, okay? Working out. But anyways, y'all, my normal spill. Hey y'all, it's your girl Mariahsincere, and I'm back with another video. Before I get started, please go ahead and like the video. Make sure that you comment and share if you enjoy my content. Make sure you also hit that notification bell. Okay, guys, look at my drink, y'all. It's so cute. I found these little, they're like ice cubes, but they don't like melt. It has like saline in it or something. But I found these at the dollar store. And they just make your drink look so cute. This is some lemon balm and elderberry tea. I ain't put no sugar in there, but it's still really good. Okay, guys. So I want to start off today with a story time, a little bit. So I went to Mexico on vacation for Thanksgiving a couple years ago, right? And we went to this, like, I don't know how to say it in English. It's like a cenote. And basically, it's like a huge water hole, like one of those pretty water holes where the water is blue, but you like jump into it, like you jump off of like, I don't know what you would call it. It's kind of like a stand, kind of like how the divers do. You jump off of that and you go to the very bottom. And I don't know how far down it was, but for a person like me who is terrified of heights, y'all, I almost had a heart attack when I saw how far we had to go down, right? And like, I'm trying to find a way out of it. Like, I'm trying to find a way to chicken out, but I had already paid my money to do it, y'all, because it was like one of them excursions. And y'all, I was so scary, right? But you know, I put on a brave face. So everybody's going before me. I would see people that would go and you could tell they were scared of heights. Some people would look and be like, nah, I'm not going to do it. You had some people who would just kind of stand there psyching themselves out. So like the whole time I'm like, bump it. I'm here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get over this. Let me figure out a strategy, right? So I was like, I'm just going to run and jump in there. Like, I'm not even finna go to the edge and look down. I'm not finna do that. Because if I do that, I'm going to talk myself out of doing it. I'm going to look scary. I'm going to look like a punk in front of all these people. I can't go out like that. Okay. So I get there. It's my turn. And I do what I said I was going to do. I run and I jump into the water, right? And it felt like how I thought I was going to feel. It hurt. It hurt, but it was exhilarating. I feel like the best part about it was just getting over that fear of heights, right? That was the most important part of it. And, you know, even though it hurt when I smacked and hit that water, it felt so good to come back up and swim out and feel accomplished. So I went back and, you know, talked to everybody else after. Somebody even took a video of it, and like you could tell people just thought I was extremely brave. They were like, oh my God, that girl just went running, didn't even care, jumped into that water, and they didn't understand I was extremely terrified, okay? I just dealt with the fear in a different way than what other people had chosen to deal with it at that time. I just came up with a strategy to overcome that fear and get through the moment, right? So to an outsider looking in, it's like I'm the bravest person, or I have courage, which, let me explain something to you. Without fear, there can be absolutely no courage, guys. Courage does not exist unless you're afraid. Okay, if you do things and you're not afraid to do them and you go ahead and do them, courage was not required of you. It's not in the mix. Okay, it's when you can learn how to overcome your fears and do it anyway, where you learn to develop courage and display courage. That is when you get the opportunity to be brave. And why am I saying this? I feel like fear is perhaps the most paralyzing thing that humans experience. Okay. A lot of the times we don't do anything because of fear of failure or fear of what other people will think. Okay. Or fear that we will never achieve what we set out to achieve, right? Or what if we do achieve what we set out to achieve? What's going to come with that, right? My life is going to change. I can't stay in my comfort zone anymore. I'm comfortable here, right? So a lot of people live their lives like that, only to get to the end of it and be like, woulda, shoulda, coulda. And I'm determined to not be that way. Okay. I'm going to try new things. I'm going to experience the things I want to experience in life. Okay. Because we only get one life. We only get one spin, and I'm not going out like that. You understand? And I also want to take this back kind of like in the theme of Mexico, right? So I am a lover of languages. Okay. I want to learn as many languages as possible before I die. Okay. So, I've been learning Spanish since 10. And like, I'm really good at it. Okay. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but I'm very good at it. I can have whole conversations, and I can read and I can write in Spanish. So, I can go to a foreign country where they speak Spanish and get around just fine. I don't need to use Google Translate or anything like that. And I'm also in the process right now of teaching myself Japanese. Because I love anime, and I don't want to be sitting up watching the subtitles every time I want to watch an anime movie. So that is what it is. I love Japanese anime in particular. But people see it now and they don't understand the work that it took to get there. Okay. You don't learn how to speak another language overnight. I started learning Spanish at 10 years old, and from 10 years old, I went into middle school and took Spanish class. I went to high school and I took Spanish class, and I had friends who spoke Spanish, so I would speak with them or ask them to give me lessons on the fly. And then in college, I took Spanish as well. And I also worked at a store where a lot of our customers came across the border. They would come for one day, come to the outlet mall. And at the time, I lived in an area near San Antonio where a lot of the Hispanic people are like Chicanos. Like a lot of them don't, their family have been here for generations and generations, and they're not passing their Spanish down. So they would come get me, the biracial girl, to speak to the Mexicans. So I was always talking, learning, and practicing then and there. And then my career as an adult, I've always had to interact with people speaking Spanish, and I practice my Spanish every single day. Y'all, this is years. Okay, this is years. I've had to overcome fears of being laughed at, talked about, seen as weird. You know, I really suggest that people learn another language so that you can understand the immigrant experience, instead of just telling people when they come over here, they just need to learn to speak English, because it's very difficult. Like, you have to get over a lot of insecurity and being self-conscious. Okay. I'm bringing this up because, like, one time I was with a friend, this was a couple years ago, and I had to communicate with somebody in Spanish who did not speak English, and I fumbled through my words in that particular time. Mind you, it was just kind of like a brain freeze. I do this a lot in English too. I knew how to say what I was trying to say, but at that time I just did not pronounce it correctly. And the friend laughed at me and got on the phone and was like, yeah, Mariah over here trying to speak Spanish. She was just kind of snickering. And if I would have listened to that and been self-conscious, I would have not like kept going, or would have felt embarrassed to continue to try to speak to people in Spanish, right? But I had to realize, first of all, this person's never even attempted to learn another language, and they can't because they won't. So it's because some people just have this mindset where they don't want to do anything. So when they see you trying to overcome your fears and learn how to do something, they want to drag you down, right? And if you're not aware, you're going to internalize that. and you're going to be too afraid to continue on. You're going to be too afraid to make progress because you're worried about what other people are thinking about you. But do y'all know who never laughed at me for speaking Spanish? Hispanic people. The people who I actually needed to communicate with have never laughed at me, even in my times where my Spanish was extremely mediocre. They've always been supportive of me. Matter of fact, a lot of the times they respect the fact that you're trying to meet them where they're at versus expecting somebody to come where you are at and learn English. You get what I'm trying to say? People respect the fact that you're trying to better yourself, that you're trying to acquire a new skill. So the people who I actually needed to talk to that was speaking Spanish did not care. They loved it. They enjoyed seeing a biracial African-American woman speaking to them in Spanish. Y'all, they loved it. They would encourage it. If they laughed, it would be because I said something funny at a context. Like, for example, one time I told somebody like, tengo mucho hombre, which that translates to I have a lot of men. I was trying to say tengo mucho hambre, which means I'm very hungry, right? So it'd be stuff like that that they laugh at, they correct you, and then they continue encouraging you and speaking to you. My point of saying that is when you're trying to overcome your fears, it's going to be a lot of people that's going to try to put doubt into your mind, that's going to judge you, tell you that you can't do certain things. However, there are also going to be people who are going to encourage you, who are going to help you in your practice, right? That's going to actually see you and be inspired by you getting over those mental blocks. That needs to be your focus, right? Because if you focus on the naysayers, you're never going to move forward, right? You're going to internalize those voices. And that's really the message, y'all. Like, that's it. That's all. You know, find something that you really want to do that's extremely hard, right? And don't care about failing. Fail at it every day. Practice at it every day. And I promise you, over time, you're going to get better. Nothing was built in a day. And that's all I have to say, guys. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.